The decline of authenticity in UFC Embedded. How a groundbreaking series became predictable and contrived. When UFC Embedded first premiered, it offered fans a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the world of professional mixed martial arts. The series promised to take viewers behind the scenes during fight week, capturing the raw, unvarnished reality of fighters as they prepared for battle inside the Octagon. Early episodes were intimate, authentic, and refreshingly candid, providing invaluable insight into the mental and physical trials that fighters endure. The very first episode of UFC Embedded premiered on July 28, 2014, in the lead up to UFC 175, Weidman vs. Machida, though technically the Embedded series became a regular staple after that event. The first episode showed backstage conversations centered around Dana White. You go to Dana's house and you meet his family. Then you go to Tyron Woodley's house and you meet his family and go to church with him. All this was filmed on what seemed to be like a camcorder, very low budget. Cell phone cameras back then are not what they are today, for sure. These early episodes took you through the fighters' actual fight week. You got to see how fighters handled themselves during the fight week. Today, however, UFC Embedded has devolved into a predictable, formulaic showcase of manufactured moments, stripping away the very essence of what made it special. As I just said, originally UFC Embedded thrived on its honest portrayal of fight week. Cameras followed the fighters into the training room as they put in their final workouts. They monitored the grueling weight cuts, offered viewers a front row seat to the emotional roller coaster leading up to a fight. The show humanized the athletes, revealing their anxieties, vulnerabilities, and determinations. Fans connected with the fighters on a deeper level because they saw them at their most authentic. UFC Embedded was about the sport and the sacrifices it demanded. In recent years, however, the series has strayed far from its original intent. Rather than focusing on the rigors of fight preparation, Embedded episodes now feature fighters participating in a variety of unrelated activities. From golfing and go-karting to boating and mountain climbing, the show appears more interested in capturing viral moments than chronicling the fight week's experience. Everyone has to come off as funny. Nina Drama finds her way into every Embedded episode now. Cringe. If you are a stoic fighter like Roman Dolidze, they take you up into the mountains and make you build a campfire from nothing. Who's building campfires in the mountains of Las Vegas during fight week, the most important week of their lives? The shift in content feels forced, as if producers are desperate to generate headlines or meme-worthy clips at the expense of authenticity. The problem isn't that the fighters shouldn't have downtime, it's that these segments have eclipsed the very training and preparation that should be at the show's core. The overuse of these recreational segments has made the UFC Embedded series increasingly predictable and lame. Take for instance here some of the highlights from earlier episodes of UFC Embedded. Embedded used to be legendary, meme-worthy, and had genuinely tense moments over the years. Let's go over a few of those episodes and moments. You had UFC 229, Khabib vs. McGregor in 2018. It's famous because the entire series for this card was electric. It documented the intense build-up to one of the biggest grudge matches in UFC history. Notable moments: you had Conor McGregor's private jet arrival, luxury suit fittings, over-the-top trash talk, contrasted by Khabib's calm, humble Dagestani training environment. The tension was thick, palpable. You could sense that something historic was coming. UFC 264, Poirier vs. McGregor in 2021. The final fight in the trilogy had real animosity. Embedded showed McGregor in a darker, angrier mood than usual. Dustin Poirier and his wife being shown in a tight, grounded unit, while McGregor took his mind games way too far. The last face-off was one of the tensest Embedded scenes ever, given what would happen in the actual fight. UFC 194, Aldo vs. McGregor. You see a pattern here? In 2015, the Embedded series in this one brilliantly built up the story of a decade-long champion in Jose Aldo and the brash Irish upstart looking to steal his throne. Notable moments: you had McGregor practicing his infamous pull-back left hand that would KO Aldo in 13 seconds. In hindsight, it's chillingly foreshadowing. Then you had UFC 248, Adesanya vs. Romero. This was in 2020. Embedded captured Israel Adesanya's anime references and quirky, irreverent personality alongside Yoel Romero's intense philosophical vibe. Izzy geeked out over Naruto and One Punch Man before one of the weirdest title fights ever. UFC 200 in 2016. This card was cursed. Embedded documented a chaotic fight week with John Jones getting pulled to a failed drug test and Brock Lesnar's unexpected return. Fans can now anticipate the formulaic pattern: an introduction to the fighters, fighters, a brief hotel check-in or sightseeing tour, an unrelated group activity, and perhaps a brief mention of training or weight cutting. The spontaneity and tension that once defined the series have been replaced by carefully staged moments, diluting the excitement and rawness that initially captivated the audience. Fans no longer tune in to witness a fighter's pre-fight schedule, but rather to see random, out-of-character activities they'll be asked to perform for the cameras. What made UFC Embedded compelling in its early days was its ability to capture moments of genuine emotion and struggle. Scenes of fighters sweating out pounds in a sauna, practicing final techniques with their coaches, or confronting last-minute nerves offered a powerful, humanizing look at the inside world of a fighter. These moments not only built anticipation for the upcoming bouts, but also deepened fans' appreciation for the athlete's sacrifices. By removing these elements in favor of scripted leisure activities, the series has lost its emotional weight and narrative focus. Additionally, the shift reflects a broader trend in sports media toward prioritizing entertainment value over substance. In an era of viral content and clickbait headlines, it seems UFC Embedded has succumbed to the pressure of manufacturing marketable moments rather than trusting the inherent drama of Fight Week to engage viewers. The irony is the original format was inherently captivating. There is no need to force entertainment when the natural stakes, tension, and personal stories of Fight Week offer more than enough intrigue. The contrived nature of recent episodes has also led to a disconnect between fighters and fans. Rather than deepening their understanding of a fighter's mindset and mental preparation, viewers are left with surface-level impressions based on artificially staged activities. This does a disservice not only to the fighters, who deserve to have their hard work and sacrifices showcased, but also to the fans, who crave authenticity and insight into the fight game. The result is a watered-down product that feels more like a travel vlog than a legitimate fight documentary series. To reclaim its former glory, UFC Embedded should return to its roots. The focus should be on the fighters' final training sessions, the nuance of their diet and weight cuts, and the psychological battles they endure as the fight night approaches. By recentering the narrative around these authentic moments, the series can once again offer fans a meaningful, inside look at the fight world. This doesn't mean eliminating all leisure activities, but rather restoring balance and ensuring that the heart of the show remains the fight and the fighter's journey. In conclusion, UFC Embedded's evolution from a raw, behind-the-scenes documentary series to a predictable, contrived reality show is a disappointing reflection of broader entertainment trends. I like to call it the Nina dramatization of the sport. What was once a powerful, authentic portrayal of Fight Week has been diluted by unnecessary and often awkward recreational segments designed to manufacture viral moments. By returning to its original mission, capturing the unfiltered reality during Fight Week, UFC Embedded can once again become the compelling, emotionally resonant series that fight fans deserve. That being said, please subscribe. I am algorithmically challenged, and I guarantee you are not going to see this content unless you subscribe. I don't know what the problem is. So, may Allah bless you, may Jesus save you, may Buddha give you all the information you've been looking for. May the Hindu guy keep you from turning blue like he did, and in the Lord's name we pray.